Alright, Schlockmeister fans, we're going to watch a classic here from Vestron. This one's called Blood Diner. Let's check it out.
Mass homicide and practitioners of blood cults infest our society. The producers of this film wish to express that they do not condone, nor do they want to inspire, any of the human butchery or violence portrayed in this film. We interrupt this program to give you an important news bulletin. A suspect in the Happy Times All-Girls Glee Club slaying has fled the scene and managed to elude the police. He is armed and dangerous and has been spotted in the West Side area armed with a meat cleaver in one hand and his genitals in the other.
This starts off 20 years earlier, and that guy you just heard on the radio, you're talking about him. Anwar Namtut.
Now are my two favorite movies.
Great, Uncle Anwar. I've been practicing my hypnotism.
About the ancient Sumerians.
And the goddess, she's our boy. That's our favorite story.
These are for you to keep. Absolutely genuine Sumerian amulets. Take good care, for they are over 5 million years old.
So he leaves the boys. And he gets shot in the street by the cops. Impressionable boys, though. "20 years later, those impressionable boys are digging up Uncle Anwar's grave. They're taking out his brain. They perform a little ritual.
And how are my two favorite nephews?
Anwar? Uncle Anwar?
Of course, what do you think it is?
We did it! We did it!
They bring him back to life, partially.
Discipline with the Glee Club girls.
His brain is alive in a jar.
For indulging, you boys must stay solid. This is a mission I failed to accomplish in my lifetime. You, my nephews, must construct shita from the body parts of many immoral girls.
So they find some immoral girls at this nude aerobics video shoot that's happening, and they shoot up the place. The aftermath.
Looks like someone had a do-it-yourself lunch meat party.
It's getting tough. Sorry, Mark. Perhaps I went too far.
They took several pieces away from some of these naked ladies.
That's okay, Chief. A good detective, no matter how hard he becomes.
And they're taking those various pieces and sewing them together to make the body of Sheetar.
You boys will learn from my mistakes.
Ah, a little more wisdom, Uncle?
Don't make the same mistake I made. I let my schlong do the thinking for me.
The boys are going to a club and are having a tough time getting in. This will take care of that.
Hey, listen.
They pick up a couple more women here.
What do you say you come back to our place for a little Numerian feast?
Is that something special?
Special? There hasn't been one served since 5 million years BC.
So the boys run a vegetarian restaurant and they put her head in the deep fryer. The other girl was in the back room when the head came rolling in, and she's going to get sliced in two. Kind of a fun scene thrown in here. The guy refuses to die, so he just keeps running all over him, back and forth, several times. So they have their parts.
We need as many participants as possible. Shout to the rafters. 5 million years have not gone in vain. At last, an authentic Numerian feast will be served.
Damn eyes.
They speak to the detective who shot Anwar years earlier.
One day, detective. One day I'll be back for you and your little girl, too. Silly, huh? Even though I was going to have a little girl.
Is this her?
Yeah. Ain't she a pip?
One of the brothers has to fight a wrestling match against Jimmy Hitler. Georgie gets a little rough in his match against Jimmy Hitler. This is the virgin they need to complete their plan.
She can't stand the sight of blood.
But Uncle Anwar is missing.
George, you've been playing with Uncle Anwar's job.
There's Sheetar in the background.
Stupid jokes, George. Where's Uncle Anwar?
Where is he? He was here last night when I talked to him.
But the cops catch up to
You
them.
take one more step and I'll blow your guts out.
I told you not to mess with that girl.
She gave me the finger.
I'm gonna give you a lot more than a finger if you don't stop goofing off tonight.
Anyway, this guy had taken Uncle Anwar, but they found him. And they punish him.
I really wasn't gonna hurt him, I swear to God.
We're fighting around in chairs.
And then as he's trying to get away, they get the other hand. Which makes it tough to drive.
I'll get you, I'll show you. Make me a cripple, will ya? Cut off my hands and legs about it, will ya? God damn it!
Anyway, they go to Club Dread and they're having their banquet and their ceremony. Drugs are handed out. Everybody's turning into zombies. And the Lemurian feast has begun. The band plays on. Quite a band, too. And quite a feast. They're about to sacrifice the Virgin.
Awaken, claim your vengeance, now!
And Sheetar awakens. Sheetar starts blasting everybody with her lightning. The cops come in, start shooting up the place. All hell breaks loose. It's total chaos. Michael gets killed.
Mikey, wake up!
Get out of here.
Georgie's head ends up in Sheetar's belly. And when it's all said and done, virtually everybody is dead. But guess who lived?
Hey, baby. Right before I stick my big sausage in you, what do they call you?
They call me Sheetar.
Alright, let's talk about Blood Diner. It's a movie that I taped in the late 80s. Rented it, copied it. I remember watching it at the time and I loved it. Now, even back then, I wasn't really fond of horror movies that had comedy elements in it. However, this one was just so good that it was great. So, anyway, years later, Vestron actually released this collector series DVD, or actually Blu-rays is what they are. And I picked this one up from Best Buy, actually. Can't get a whole lot of good stuff at Best Buy anymore, but this one I picked up about a year and a half ago or so. Anyway, the movie starts off in the early 60s. This guy named Anwar Namtut kills a bunch of people, and he's killed. But he's very impressionable to his two nephews. They grew up. They opened a vegetarian restaurant in Hollywood, and they want to bring back their uncle to life and put on this Lemurian feast for the goddess Sheetar. And that's what they do. They dig up Anwar's body. They find his brain, which is somehow intact after 20 years. And they bring it back to life by doing this little ceremony. And even though he's like a brain with eyes in a jar, he can still talk to them and such. So anyway, he tells them what to do. They have to kill a bunch of immoral women and take body parts from each of them, piece them together, kind of like Blood Feast or Mardi Gras Massacre, those films. And then they have to do this other ritual, and that will bring Sheetar to life. Sheetar will be the accompaniment, or this body that they put together. And she's some sort of goddess, a Lumerian goddess. Well, they get some drugs together, and they go to this bar called Club Dread, where there's this weird band playing, which features 4 people that are dressed like Hitler. And it's just chaotic there. They have this feast. They're serving up humans, human body parts and such. And they have to have this virgin. They're going to sacrifice her and feed her to Sheetar. Well, the cops are eventually brought to this place. They've been investigating all these murders prior to this, because there's been women dying left and right all over the place. They come in, they bust up the place, they shoot up the place. Both brothers are killed. One of the brothers gets his head stuck in Sheetar's belly. Sheetar does come to life, by the way. And when it's all said and done, there's probably dozens and dozens and dozens of dead people. Sheetar disappeared. Mikey and George, the 2 brothers, they're dead. The cops live, the virgin lives. So anyway, the last scene in the movie shows some guy picking up Sheetar on the street, and who knows what happened to them after that. So anyway, that's the film. And again, it is very good, very well made, very funny. Most of the actors and actresses in this movie did nothing else. This was their sole thing. And it's kind of over the top, too, in terms of the blood, in terms of the comedy. And it just seems like everybody who was doing this movie was having a great time. The scene where the guy is riding in his van and running that guy over and over again, that was pretty good, pretty funny. And there's this nude aerobic scene, which I could just show you the very tail end of it when he was shooting up the place. It just seems so over-the-top 80s and exploitative, but it was hilarious. Just these topless women doing this ridiculous routine with pom-poms. Funny stuff. Anyway, it's called Blood Diner. You can get this Blu-ray, which looks fantastic, by the way. There's a lot of extras on there, some interviews and stuff. And it usually goes for about $25 or so. Well worth it. This is a good one to get. So check it out. Let me know what you think about it. Very gory. Leave some comments down below. It's called Blood Diner. Watch it. Bye.